and I'm just kind of going off the cuff. I don't even know if this is gonna turn out. What's happening? What's going on? Today I'm going to be making a beat in Logic Pro X using only stock plugins. Now I might be using some non-stock plugins, but they'll only be for reverb and effect. My instruments themselves keep it to just stock. I'm making this from scratch now. If I do use like a third-party reverb or something, they'll be free, and I'll include the download link in the description of my video. So I'm starting with a Yamaha grand piano here. All I had to do is create a software instrument track, and it starts you off on that classic electric piano, and then you just go back, go to piano. I like the Yamaha. And I had a melody in mind. I don't even know if I want to quantize that. Yeah, I'm gonna quantize it. I do like that little roll I do on most of them though. I'm gonna do a little bit of this manually, because when you do this, you get that kind of like roll effect. So these guys I'm gonna quantize. And then I'm gonna move these guys back. They already roll a bit, but they're a little late. Alright, that's good for that. I'm gonna humanize it, select everything, functions, or not humanize it, sorry. I'm gonna do a fixed velocity and then humanize it, because I don't like how different I played the notes. All at 100, it's gonna sound way too hard, so I'll probably move them all to about, but that's still too hard. You want it to be nice and smooth. Okay, that's good, and now I'm gonna humanize it so that it doesn't sound super digital. Randomize the velocity a bit. So that also can randomize the timing, and so you have to correct that for the first notes. Got that. Let's see what other kind of instruments we got in here. We got a synthesizer, kind of a pad. Okay, so let's get us a new track. Go to a synthesizer. What kind of pads do we got? Can maybe take out the high end there and just have that sit kind of low. Let's try that. I'll quantize that just because I want that to hit right on. Cool. Now I'm just gonna say, side note, if you're just starting out, this is all you need. Definitely all you need, because you want to be able to use the plugins correctly, and then you can start exploring a little bit more in depth of sounds. Logic is great because it has such great stock plugins, or stock instruments. And the reason I'm saying this is, if I'm going to a guitar, I would always, because I play guitar, I would use a live guitar, or I'd plug into my interface over here. So, what's this sound like? You know what, actually I do know it has a nice, harp. So I'm gonna go for that harp. Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Honestly, this is probably one of my favorite Logic stock instruments, is their harp. Because A, how many people have a harp? So it's gonna be pretty hard to find a harp to use, or a live, or a harpist. B, I mean, maybe I don't know enough about how live harps sound, but I think it sounds pretty solid. We can quantize that guy. Now with this guy, I'm gonna quantize it, but I'm gonna take the strength down a bit because I don't want it to be perfectly quantized, because I want it to be realistic sounding. When it comes to the drums, which I want to get to next, go here. I like to use Ultra Beat, stereo Ultra Beat, and then you can play them all in there. I like to create different tracks. Like this will be the kick, this will be the snare, this will be the hi-hat, etc. You can see in here what kind of drum kits they have. Let's try this one. We're gonna quantize these at 100. I like my snares to hit right at the right time, especially for the genre, hip-hop, R&B. You want that to hit right on time. And the velocity. That sounds about right. I got the velocity at 51 there. Now I'm gonna go back to Ultra Beat and go into the kick bank. Pick out the best kick. I like how this one sounds kind of live, and I like the deepness and the digital aspect of this one, the 808 kick. So I'm gonna mix them, and I'm gonna play them both. And I'm gonna quantize these ones perfectly as well. There we go. Like I said, I'm making this live. All of these are subject to change. So if something happens along the way, I'm like, I'll probably change it. So let me get a hi-hat in there. See what kind of hi-hats we got. There's a rough pattern there. I'm gonna go by 16ths, and then again, this is something I want to make more realistic sounding, so I'm gonna take that down. And I think I started with them, but it got cut off, so now let's see what I got. So this is kind of the step that I usually take to just kind of go back and look at what I have. Let's see if we got any basses. Upright studio bass, this usually sounds pretty good. With the bass, I want to stay with the root note of the chord each time. Again, I'm just kind of going off the cuff. I don't even know if this is going to turn out. Let's find out. If it does, dope. I wonder if I can add a little bit of a vocal sample in there. If I can add a vocal sample, it'll add a lot more and really make people not think that it's a beat made with Logic stock instruments. So I already have vocal samples in here. I'm using this guy here, the EXS24. I have vocal samples to pick from. I'm a singer as well. So if you want a tutorial on how to use this to get a vocal sample in Logic, please do let me know in the comments, because I can definitely do that. I'm big on that. So for whatever reason that one doesn't work. That one kind of sounds like a chipmunk, so I'm probably not going to go with that. Ooh. Okay, yep, I'm using that, and I'm going to end up using that reverb I was telling you about too. I'm quantizing that completely. I want it to be right on time. Now here's that reverb I was talking about. I'm going to put it on bus 6. It's unused. Audio units, TAL, Togu audio line, reverb plugin. I'm going to bus it. It's great reverb. So, for whatever reason, my camera decided to stop recording. So fast forwarded a bit, but I'll catch you up on exactly what I did. I was adding the vocal sample, I added that in, came out to this. So I kept that high one in there, even though it's a little bit Alvin and the Chipmunksy, just because I thought it gave a good texture to everything. So I started with the piano and this like texture. The bass in there. Just give it a little groundwork right off the top. For the very last bar, I mute everything just so it jumps into the chorus with some impact. I honestly think I'm just gonna mute that bowed lead because it's not doing. I might have lied. I'll just turn it down a bit. Okay, so this here, I added an EQ. I turned the high cut on. It usually, when you just turn it on, it stays right around here. But because I automated it down to 1320, and that made that like underwater effect, I did that also to the snare and then the kick when it comes back in. And I added that reverb I was talking about, TAL reverb, on the piano. I honestly could add an open hat, but I probably won't. I'm just keeping it kind of simple right now. I don't want to get too carried away. This is the verse. Turn that down a bit. Okay, so there's that. Something I tried when my camera was trying to sabotage this whole video was putting the BPM to 100. Definitely makes it faster paced and a different feel. So this is all preference. And I can do this because there's no audio files. They're all MIDI. So with the arrangement, I did that for the verse, piano, vocal, snare with the high cuts coming up. I did it on the kick as well. And then after the first 8 of the verse, I brought the hi-hat in and the bass and took the vocal sample out. And the harp comes in for the last 4 before the chorus, and the first and the second verse are the same. And then there's a chorus after the second verse, and then an outro. So this is just going to be the chorus again. preference, really. Between the 80 and 100. I kind of like the 80, but it depends on what your vocalist is trying to do. So if you have any questions, definitely let me know in the comments. If you have a problem with my stock beat here, definitely let me know. I got thick skin. And if you want to see any other tutorials, please let me know that too. I can obviously show you production tutorials with my sound libraries, some of which are Omnisphere, Trillion, Stylus, RMX, Hollywood Orchestra, etc. I've got a lot of other libraries that I use, vocal tutorials, stacking harmonies. But let me know in the comments below. Please do like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. It helps me bring more content, obviously, etc., etc. Thanks for watching, and keep watching. And yeah, all right.